Hey guys, it is time for my 2-month postpartum update. This is going to be about me. I'm going to make a separate one about Molly. And I hope this works. I got a new Hypercam and it was set to save the file as .avi, which made it so big that it would have taken 6 hours to upload to YouTube. So hopefully I figured it out and it won't. Otherwise I'll have to do this again and I don't want to. It wasn't this video that I messed up on, but yeah, anyway. So let's get started. My bleeding is completely gone. It is 100% gone. I'm not bleeding at all. I keep thinking like I might be starting to like bleed from like a period, but there's nothing. I haven't had a period. I thought I might since I'm on birth control, but I still haven't had a period since I stopped bleeding. And I have no pain down there at all. Like all that's gone. Like the pain that was in my vagina just from like the stitches, whatever, is gone. Also, intercourse is no longer painful at all. Yay! So I'm really excited about that. That was kind of derpy. Sorry about that. My back hurts so bad. Like when Molly was like a month old, I bent over to like pick her up off this couch, and my back popped in just instant pain. And since then, I have hurt it like 2 or 3 more times, and it is just ridiculous. I'm so sick of my back hurting. But I think it's finally actually getting better. If I hurt it again, or if the pain doesn't go away within like another 2 weeks, I'm gonna go see a chiropractor or something, figure out what's wrong. I hope I didn't slip a disc or I'm gonna be pissed. Like a back brace would probably help. Like I pulled the muscle that like holds my spine upright. So if I bend over and reach out my hands, even right now, I'm using my abs to hold up my back. I can't do it because the pain is so bad. Like I cannot like bend my spine like this and have my arms out like that. The muscles that keep my balance when I do that are the muscles that are affected, and they hurt so bad. And it's really hard to pick Molly up off of like the floor or her bouncy chair. I have to use my elbows like propped against my legs to pick her up, and that's how I've been getting through this. So when I like lay her down to change her, because we change her on the floor on a blanket, to pick her up, I usually hold her in one hand and just kind of like push up with my other. But I am so sick as expletive of my back hurting. But it's finally going away. It's really hard to sit up. I can't just like sit up suddenly. I can't just get up suddenly. When I go to bed, it hurts. When I wake up, it hurts, but I think it's just because of stiffness. Ibuprofen does help, so I'm pretty sure it's just like a pulled muscle and not like something really, really serious. I haven't had to use ibuprofen for a while, but for a while there I was taking 3 at a time, just once a day. So I kind of was joking, I was popping them like candy. So I really hope that goes away soon, because I'm just so... I have not yet, so far postpartum, been able to just get up. Like before my back hurt, I had a snatch of stitches, and it hurt to get up really fast. So I'm just like pissed, but it's okay. My back doesn't hurt as bad as some people's do, so I consider myself fortunate that it's not worse. Let's see, my weight, I didn't weigh myself, but I think I weigh like 160. Before I got pregnant, I weighed like 145. After I got married, I went up to 155. I'm not sure how much of that was from pregnancy or how much of that was just from my diet change. So I'm hoping I can get down to like 150 before I have another baby or whatever. I haven't really like started exercising or anything. And so, I'm about 10, like 5 or 10 pounds higher than what I'd like to be, but I'm really, really, really glad I am not 190 anymore, and I will say that in my belly shot. I already took the belly shot. Oh, so next I want to talk about my boobs. They don't hurt, my nipples don't hurt anymore when I breastfeed. Yes. It hurt so bad to breastfeed, and it took a lot longer than normal for it to stop hurting. Like, my nipples just hurt so bad. But they no longer hurt. Now I can just pick her up, put her on my boob, not even think about it. Sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, but nothing like it was. So I think I can pretty much tolerate anything that she throws at me at this point, except maybe teeth. Also, this is really recent. My boobs stopped spraying. Woohoo! Like, for several weeks. My boobs, I had like an oversupply, and my boobs like soaked through my breast pads. I mean, they were saturated with breast milk. And when I got too full, they would start dripping. So every single day, multiple times a day, I would get my clothing all wet. And I would have to throw it in the dryer because I'm gross and don't wash it every time. But, like, I just had to throw them in the dryer to dry them and stuff, like, all the time. They soaked through everything. And I was worried about work because I was worried I was going to soak through my clothes. But, like, right before I started work, my boobs finally regulated themselves, and they no longer do that. They only do that if I go, like, a really, really long time without nursing, which would be, like, the days that I have a 5-hour shift if she doesn't eat before, like, soon before I leave, and doesn't eat for a while after I come back. Like, then they'll kind of leak, but, like, my breast pads only have, like a quarter-size spot of milk on them, whereas before they would get soaked like every hour, and I went through so many breast pads, and so I am so happy my boobs are no longer leaking. Yes, I already said that. Yes, I've gone back to work this past month. I started working, crap, I don't even remember what day, but this is my second full week that I've worked. It's Saturday. So it's my last day of the work week. So I have been at work for 2 weeks now. It's going great. I don't have to pump at work. I've found it's more convenient and totally okay for me to pump before I go to work. So I get up at 5:45 on the days that I work at 7, which is crazy. And then the day that I work at 9, I get up at 8. And I have a just manual pump. It's actually kind of broken right now. The O-ring came off of the part, the like handle part, so it loses suction really fast when I pump it, but it still works fine enough for my boobs, so I'm not like too worried about it. I do want to try to find an O-ring so I don't have to replace the whole freaking part, because it's $20 and the whole pump was $40, so I think that's a total rip-off, but it does work enough to get lots of milk out of my boobs still. So I pump before I go to work, and then when I come home, half the time she doesn't even take the bottle. Like, I'll just, like, put the milk in, like, a little thing and then have a bottle next to it. And so when Ben wakes up, I put them next to Ben, so he wakes up and he'll, like, put the milk in and give it to her. And lately she hasn't even taken it. Like, she just doesn't want it. And so if she's hungry, she'll take it. So it's not that she doesn't like the bottle, it's just that she's not hungry. So, so half the time I come home and she hasn't even eaten it, and so we just toss it out. I don't really care. I'm not, like, obsessed with storing it, and, like, to me, that's just milk that would be, like, leaking out of my boobs anyway, so I don't really care that I have to toss a lot of it. I do freeze it, so there is some in the freezer, and she didn't even touch it this morning, and so I just put the whole bag, like, in the freezer. So I don't really bother to, like, warm up freezed milk. I just pump, and then it's fresh, and then she'll drink it, and if she doesn't, I don't really care. Sometimes she only takes like an ounce. So my boobs have finally cut back on their milk. They finally realized, oh, Molly doesn't drink this much milk, and so my supply has gone, I don't want to say it's gone down, but it's not like just keeping whatever. So I'm really happy about that. Sleep is going well. I'm getting plenty of sleep, although now that I'm working I have to get up at 5:45 instead of noon. It's quite different, but I tend to go to bed on the 4 days that I get up at 5:45. I tend to go to bed at like 11-ish. Last night I went to bed at like 10 because I was really tired, and then Molly got up she like was crying at like 11:30 for me to feed her, so I fed her, and then she actually didn't eat again until I came home at like 12:30. It's crazy. She went the whole night without eating. So I'm getting enough sleep. Like, I'm not super tired. I'm not a zombie during the day. The one day last week I was, but I've just learned like when to go to bed. I fall asleep faster. I get more quality sleep, I guess, when I do sleep. And now that Molly's 2 months old, she is starting to go longer at night without eating, and she eats more during the day. She just did that on her own, and I'm really excited about that because it makes it a lot easier for me to catch up on sleep when I need it. And Ben he's tired, but he gets sleep. He'll be happier once she like falls asleep sooner, of course. But we're just working on that. It'll just take some time. So he gets, I don't know, probably like 6 hours of sleep. It's kind of broken. Like if I leave and she wakes up, he has to feed her, of course. But sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's not. So it's just, kind of day by day. It's a toss up. But um, he got sick this week too, and he missed 2 days of work, which is unheard of. He like hasn't had a fever in years, and he had like a really high fever. So yes, I am not like super super tired because he takes her at night so I can sleep, and then brings her to me when she's hungry, and he'll like bring her to bed and stuff. So that's how we do that, and of course I'm with her all day. So that's how that works. So I'm really really happy that I get plenty of sleep. I haven't really been all that sleep deprived. Yeah. I have no PPD. I'm really happy about that because I am definitely at risk for that because I have such an anxiety problem. But ever since she's been born, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not super anxious. When I was pregnant with her, I just, like, everything. I was just so scared, like, anything could happen. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what if she dies? What if she dies? What if this happens? What if that happens? And after she was born, I'm just like, whatever. Like, it's crazy. I'm just like, I'm not worried about it. Like, my maternal instinct just, like, kicked in. And I just am, like, not really that worried about most stuff. So that's really nice. I do not have PPD. I definitely was hormonal. I cried a lot for like the first like 2 weeks. Just like, oh. I usually cried because I was like just nostalgic about random stuff. I also cried because breastfeeding hurt. And like I would cry when I would think about breastfeeding. Like, it hurts. And then I would like start crying. So I was so frustrated. But it doesn't hurt anymore. And last that I have written down for me is I have an endocrinology appointment on Tuesday, and so hopefully I won't hurt my back putting her in her car seat and stuff. I have to take her by myself because Ben's working and my mom is working and my dad's in class. So I'll have to go by myself, so I'll have to carry her in the carrier by myself, and hopefully I can do that without hurting myself, but I'm so used to my back hurting that it probably won't be a huge problem. So anyway, when I go there, they're going to test my thyroid, see if it's gone back up since I had her, see if I have to stay on the thyroid pill that I'm on. I really hope they'll say I don't have to do it because I just hate taking pills. I never remember, and it's a kind of pill that I can't eat for 30 minutes afterwards, and so it's really annoying. I can't like just eat something with it. Sometimes I do anyway because I'm hungry, but I'm really hoping that they'll say I don't have to take it anymore. Or if I do have to keep taking it, I'm going to be like, can you please write me a new prescription? Because my prescription right now is only for 30 days. And so every 30 days I have to refill it, and it's so annoying. Although my birth control I have to refill every 28 days, so I guess it's not a huge deal. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully my thyroid has gone up enough. And if you don't know, my thyroid wasn't super low, but it was like a number below the minimum. And so they're just kind of watching it. My midwife was. And then like later in my pregnancy it dropped even more. And so they sent me to an endocrinologist. So I'm on a really low dose of levothyroxine just to like make sure it's not too low because that can affect like pregnancy. But it didn't affect my pregnancy, thankfully. So we'll see what happens. And so I'm going to end with my belly shot. And that will be the end of this video for my 2 months postpartum. Okay, I'm doing this before I record my video, so pardon this. Here's from the front with the shirt on, and here's from the side. Here's what it looks like with the shirt up, and to the side. Here's like where my worst stretch marks are. The biggest stretch mark I have is that one. And the stretch marks I have on my tummy didn't appear until I gave birth. So, and I'm right here, hi. So there's what my 2-month, almost 9-week postpartum tummy looks like. This right here I think is a birthmark, because if it's a cafe au lait spot, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's what I look like 2 months postpartum. I'm like 10 or 15, I'm probably 10 pounds above where I want to be. So I'm a little thick, I guess, but whatever. I'm so glad I'm not 190 anymore. Bye.